Today I want to talk about the topic of death, the afterlife, ghosts, spirits, and what happens to us when we die. Now that sounds really heavy, right? No, it doesn't have to be. We can use lightness in this topic, as strange as that may sound. I know there are many people on YouTube who have also touched this topic, not just on YouTube, but around the world. There are grief counselors, and if something that you need to do is go see one, then I fully support that. If that's what works for you, makes you feel good and heals you, by all means do that. There are many ways in life to go about healing and feeling great in life, and if it feels good and it's working for you, do that. But I have a bit of a different approach. I'm a bit of a rebel. I like to think a bit differently. Some of it is things you've heard before, but when I just get into it and be very real with you, whatever belief system you have, whether that's yourself, source, goddess, the man upstairs, whatever it is, you are welcome, and you can apply this to whatever belief system you have. I'll start off with a really quick caveat of using science and energy. Making this really brief. I've done a lot of research from many sources and found there are many kinds of energy, such as mechanical energy, nuclear energy, solar energy. There's tons. That's what the universe is made of. I recently went to an astronomy talk. It was done by the University of Toronto professor. Was asked a question and answer period after his presentation. One of the questions was, so tell me, what is the way we see astronomy going? What's the excitement we have to wait for? And he said, well, we still know what dark matter, dark energy is. Dark matter, dark energy, no, that doesn't mean dark, scary. You might think, oh god, death, dying, yikes, click, turn away. No. Still with me. Stay with me. You here? Still here? Okay, good. Now, it just means the dark, the hidden, what we do see and don't see with our eyes. It still means my eyes are closed. I can still see whatever we call the distance between you, me, the computer screen, your cell phone, smartphone, whatever you're watching this on. Beyond our senses. And sometimes it can include them, perhaps as well. Right? So if this is what the universe is literally made of energy, then we are made of energy, and if we die and our physical body decomposes, goes away, our essence is still energy. Energy never disappears and it's never destroyed, it just changes to a new form. So if it changes to a new form, then isn't it the same when we die? I think there are a lot of people out there who try to deceive you and to say out there, yeah, I like to be real bold out there, deceive you and promote themselves as an expert. And while I have a lot of experience in this, and I make mine very real, I sometimes find it interesting to notice how much of them, and I'm going to talk about viral spiritual people on YouTube who I actually watch some of them. One mainly in particular, I don't follow that many. I like to follow myself and they call the universe, source, God, and myself and the guidance that I get in my life. However, they claim themselves to be an expert. In my personal opinion, you can't say you're fully an expert until you've been, there. Yeah, you may have a glimpse and you have an understanding, and I have some too. But trust your own intuition too of what you think might be true. Now, let's give you the real deal of what's happening, what's going on. So you die. Then what? Death. I see it almost like a spark. If you want to use the word a star, like I had this part of the reason I chose my website name, See Your Star, is because you are almost like a ball, starburst of energy. And that ball of light goes somewhere else. We can call it a different plane, an astral plane. It's so funny, I've done some reading on astral plane and astral travel, causal plane. They have so many names. Names. It's all created. Blah, 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 words. Words. I will be touching on that in the future, so you'll stay tuned for that. But it goes somewhere else. There are millions and billions of people around the planet, in the universe, that have had ghost stories, spirit stories, whether it was real or not, who's to say? But I know that it does exist, and that the methods that we can get in touch with spirits. It's happening all the time. Whether we know it or not, it's there. It's really happening. And I'm willing to be real with you today. I wondered if I should, but I thought, you know what? How many of them are really saying, this happened to me, this example? I know people are sharing around the world, like Coast to Coast AM, wonderful station. There's the NDEs, near-death experiences. There's countless science and studies as well about this. So keep that in mind. I'm going to just be real with you and tell you what just happened to me yesterday, which is what inspired me to share this message with you today. And know that there are many ways for spirit, energy, the essence of ourselves to happen. If you believe this is it, we die, that's it, I have a friend who does. You can do that. But scientifically, it doesn't make a lot of sense. If an energy we know never disappears, never destroyed, going to say this again, then it just goes somewhere else. Where the somewhere else, what we call that place, is unknown. Let me tell you what happened yesterday. Okay. Here's the courage part. Yesterday, I started the day off by having a really, almost usually my stories seem to start with a dream. It's interesting in the dream state. Again, future videos, dreams, dream states. I'm always open to your vision of what you love to see. Let me know down below. I had this dream that two friends from the past contacted me. That was it. Someone from the past had contacted me. They went through my day, and lo and behold, whether we call it Mercury retrograde, I don't know, part of Mercury retrograde, it's not just technology going down, it's also people from the past, or also it can be things that come back to you that you may have lost. So what happened to me yesterday is somebody contacted me, emailed me, saying they've been trying to contact me on Skype. I only use Skype very often, only have a few people on it, and I eventually did become open. I was very quick actually when they reached out to me because we kind of had a falling out, and I was open to their message, getting to the point. What happened? She admitted to me and shared with me that one of our friends that we both had in common, by the name of Jen, let's give her a name. Her name is Jen. She died in December, and I had no idea. Although I had some idea, because I knew something was strange and off when I had that dream, that something was different, and I didn't know what. So when I was contacted, I wasn't surprised, because, like I said, the dream, isn't it wonderful when our intuition is on? My intuition can be trusted and is strong. And we got talking about the way she died. She died in, I don't know if I should say this, I focus on living, and I'm going to talk about healing from death and different ways to do that first. But let me just share with you this beautiful example. So we got into talking, and we talked for about an hour and a half, sharing things we liked about our lives, what had happened to her in the last little while, I didn't always know. And she asked me, do you still give readings? Because in the past, I have a wide background. I've worked in the business world, also as an actor, performer, TV and film, but I also have experience giving intuitive, psychic readings professionally, as well as a sideline, and kind of incognito behind the scenes, not always letting people know that I did that. Always from the highest good of all. And she asked me, do you do tarot anymore? I hadn't done that in 20 years because I transitioned to not using the cards. My brother gave me these cards about a year and a half ago by Doreen Virtue, called the Archangel Oracle cards. Now my opinion on them is any cards that you use, they're a tool, it all comes from within you, it really does. However, sometimes these messages can be comforting and can give you guidance and sort of help confirm what you're thinking. I don't use them that often, only every once in a while. And it's very cliche. I've seen like the spiritual humor videos, and check them out, they're really funny. It's like, wait, let's pull a card. That's cliche and it's funny and it's true, and I can laugh at myself. Can we laugh? Can we please laugh? Laugh. If you can't laugh, even at death, then yeah. I know that sounds morbid, but I like to think differently. So anyway, we pulled this card, and I shuffled it, and I asked her to tell me when to stop. And I'm going to recreate the experience that happened. So I stopped, and I pulled this card, clairaudience. Before I read what it means, I already know what clairaudience means. For those who don't know, it means clearly audience. If you think audience, audio is to hear something. Hear. You hear me? And hearing doesn't necessarily mean literally a voice. It can be a thought. And I had a thought before I even pulled the card, I said to her, I have this feeling I should pull the card on the bottom. I'm really feeling this one on the bottom. So I got, okay, clairaudience. Didn't even go to the book description saying what the card meant. And I went to the bottom. And are you ready for the card I got? You may be ready. This is the card I got. Hello from heaven. Hello from heaven. Does that mean I necessarily believe that it's a heaven as things are just as heaven is described? Doesn't matter how the message comes through, but let me read the message to you. Archangel Azrael, your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. Put that up close. What are the chances of all the cards? I never pulled this card. Like I said, I don't use it all the time. And that was the card that was chosen. And it was because I listened to myself. Again, clairaudience, listen. Audience and intuition is not just, oh, I had a feeling. I acted on the feeling. I felt something, I pulled the card, yes. Whether it's the card or not, it doesn't matter. What the message is that we heard it, I heard it, I acted on it, and it showed us, yes, there's someone communicating. Maybe she lined us up in our dream for us to talk again. Who knows? I don't know. But what I do know is it proves to me that there is life after death. There really is, for those who may not think so, or for those who know this, and just you're nodding your head going, of course. Like, I see this as natural. Personally, very natural. Natural. And it's just being open. Another way I think of is I've always been open to the strange. Maybe part of it is my upbringing. My mother was always open to spirits, and that doesn't mean she didn't do channeling or any of those things, but she was always open to trusting her ESP intuition for whatever reason. Maybe that had an impact on me, who knows. It's also practice. But it is real, it happens. There are many people having this experience around the world. Just because they've died, let's celebrate their life, how they lived. Her death was tragic. It was in the ghost ship, I believe the name of the warehouse club party in Oakland, California, where there was artists, and it burned down. It was an illegal run, and it burned down. But I want to focus not just on that, though I needed to figure out that. But that helps give me closure, is knowing yes. And it was also more for the friend I was speaking to, that it's how we live. How we live our lives now, and live knowing that our love still exists, as cheesy and as corny as that sounds, and it's real, and it does exist. And I've had other experiences too. I talk about one in my book, Easy Enlightenment, Transform Your Life in 30 Days, where I actually haven't had death come up a lot in my life, believe it or not. I've always had family in another, not close to where I live, not in the same city, like far away. For whatever reason, that's been my life story. So I haven't been to many funerals or services or anything like that, or news of death. That hasn't come up often for me, so this was a bit of a blow of the way and how tragic it happened. The message is, my grandfather died. This was about, 17, 18 years ago. 17, 18 years ago, grandfather died. I'm going to skip this story real short, fast forward. One way it came to me, which we didn't know, is I live downtown and in a very busy city in Canada, Toronto. It's really busy, and found out my grandfather's ashes were scattered somewhere up in the country. And the day that happened, my mother and brother, they don't talk that often. That was my uncle. They don't talk often because of the distance. Anyway, long story short, a peregrine falcon came and flew up to our balcony, and that we've never had that ever happen, and it still to this day has never happened again. And that was an interesting confirmation. But if that doesn't prove it to you, here's another one. You might think, well, it's your imagination, you're reading into it. Back in those days, they didn't have the recording devices that we have now, and the cameras and the cell phones and the smart. We didn't have that back in those times. And yet we made a video that we had sent to him of, I have a parrot, for those who don't know, I'm new to my channel, named Peppy. She's a blue crown conure. We didn't know she was a female. Let's watch. She's got a male's name. And we sent a video of her talking, saying like, what's a duck say? Quack, quack. What's a dog say? Ruff. Get the message. There was a phone call, went to the machine. It was one of those old machines that recorded on the tape, and I was the only one home when this happened. Phone rang, went to the phone, and I didn't get it, and the machine started playing the video. We didn't send this video to anyone else. He did not have friends that he would send this to, or family. This was not sent. This was a real videotape, VHS, if you remember those tapes. And it started playing. And the tape would cut off after 2 minutes. Yet this video, it kept playing and playing on the machine. And I was just like, whoa. You might think you'd be scared or that. No, I wasn't. I was just like, whoa. Another way. Whoa. They are around. They communicate in different ways, whether it's the phone. There are ways. But can we also remember to let them go? I know that seems hard, and that doesn't mean forget them. Still have them. They'll always be a part of you and with them in your heart. Just like my friend, there are ways that she positively influenced me in my life, and I'm going to choose to focus on that. And can we not let them go in spirit, wherever they choose to be, or whatever they turn into, or energy, or whatever we call it, or if you think that's the end, whatever. But somehow something is communicating, and it's happening, and it's real. And by the way, at the end of that tape, it's eventually, when the tape was done, it stopped after about 10 minutes, and it never recorded it on the answering machine at all, as if no one had ever called. That ghost phone, if you want to call it that, ghost spirits. So it's knowing there is a connection, it is there, it hasn't stopped, it never does stop, never does stop loving the person. It just changes to a new form. It doesn't take away the pain you might feel, or the sadness of however somebody died, whether you were ready for it or not. And just to focus on how they lived and what they did do, and not even what they did, who they are, just the fact that they even chose to live, whatever the reason is or how they died. Let's focus on life, on living, and how we live our lives now. And whatever closure you need, if you felt they needed you just wish they'd forgive you, or you wanted to say goodbye, just say those things. Say it out loud. Say it. They hear you. It is heard. If it isn't, then how are they communicating? Why did I get this message out? Whatever way you call it. Hello from heaven. Hello. Hello. That is my message today. Hello. Hello from heaven. Okay, hello from the universe. Hello from whatever plane. What we call it doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter the name we give it. Doesn't matter what it looks like. If there's clouds, pearly gates, or just stars in the galaxy, and we all join as one big energy form, that is, we become a star in the sky, and we sparkle and shine with others. Whatever it is, know that there is life. After death we can heal. And what thought feels better? We use Esther Hicks, The Law of Attraction, in the amazing book, Asking and Is Given. What feels better? Oh my God, I wish I got to talk to them. I knew them. If only they knew. I wish they would forgive me. Or, why did they have to leave me? Why is life so cruel? You know, that's not going to make you feel better, and it's okay to feel those things, but don't stay there. Express it, let it go, and move on. Or does this feel better? Isn't it wonderful that I got to know them in my life? And isn't it also amazing that they lived, and they went out, and they tried to find whatever that be, love, happiness, courage, healing other people, social justice, whatever that message or passionate thing is for you, or simply just living your life. That I knew them. You know, because I knew you, I've been changed for good, as it is from wicked. With every moment, we really do live whatever form we exist in. It's just being open to it, and not being afraid to be open, even if you don't understand something from our mind. Coming from here and beyond. It's like in Beetlejuice, I've always felt like the role of Lydia. That a lot of people ignore the strange and unusual. I myself am strange and unusual. Don't be afraid to be the same, or see the unusual as usual, and see the blessings inside yourself.